we go. Friday night. Here we go. We're on in 2 minutes. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to sponsors, GRS Installations, Heroes and Legends, Cornerstone Business Solutions, Galaxy Blinds, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Dovecot, Advanced Utility Solution, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and TGM Cars. Wonder Fire Michael Carrick made 3 changes tonight. Obviously from the Watford game going into tonight's game against Bristol. Beleza, Ayling and Edmondson were out, and then came Fry, Bazog and Dick Steele. So the lineup was Travers. We played 4-4. I thought it was 4-4-2. Conway was level with Hanacho a lot of the games, a lot of the time. But Travers in goal, Borges, Dick Steele, the left and right back, Van der Berg and Fry came in. Bazog on the left, Whittaker on the right, Hackney, Morris central, and up front, as I say, was Conway and Hanacho. Glover, Beleza, Ayling, Azaz, Foz, Edmondson, Junior, Greenup, I think it's his first time on the bench, and McCabe. Well, obviously Michael Carrick and the team had to go and get something out tonight's game to relieve the pressure. But unfortunately it didn't materialise. We got off to we started off quite well. We were throwing bodies in front. I always say, put your body in line. I've seen Fry putting in a last-ditch effort. Van der Berg, this was throughout the duration of the game, which was good to see. I thought Hackney was involved. I thought our keeper was, Travers was, without his heroics, would have got done 4, 5 or 6. He had 4 or 5 great saves. You know, we were allowing him to shoot 3 shots and he was diving to the left, the right, over the bar. I thought he was terrific tonight. And Big Bazog put in a shift. Maybe should have scored first half. When he got cut back, he went to hit it. I think he went to hit it with his right and it deflected off his left. It was a poor effort. We had a couple of shots before that. But hey, another 3 points disappear. We're 11th in the table. It's another dent in our confidence. More pressure on Michael Carrick. More pressure on Steve Gibson. More pressure on the team. And it's simply not good enough. I'll be honest, when I watched it, I was thinking, when we went to goal, I was thinking, how are they up the top? I question us as well. I thought, I'll be honest, looking at it, I thought, I don't think any's are good enough for the top 6. And then, as I say, I couldn't really see them scoring. Then when they scored, their tails got up, they chopped in, they changed the formation, they brought 3 subs on and a 1-8. I mean, Michael Carrick did as well, but to no avail. But yeah, very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. What else do you say? We went into the game knowing that they were in the rich vein of form. I think they won about 6 in the last 8. We've won 3 in 15. Now it's 3 in 16. Another 2 goals conceded. You know, can you imagine now sitting thinking, hey, we've went there against all the odds, we've turned them over in their own backyard, 3 points on the board, we're back in the top 6, 7 position. I'm starting to sound like a fantasist. Right, here we go. I'm going to respect him. Bernie could be 16 tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. I'm Daniel. I'm not even counting tomorrow. Stefan, the defence does it, man. Mark, they seem to fall asleep at times. Yeah, the 2 goals, we'll talk about the goals conceded. I'm sorry, but the best manager won that game by doing his job properly. Game management. After 60 minutes, everyone could see we needed fresh legs. Bristol brought 4 subs on to apply huge pressure. Carrick took 82 minutes for a first sub, and then he gives Foz 2 minutes. Absolutely close. Well, the Foz singer, you could have put him on an hour before. I don't think he'd have any impact in the game. Perfect birthday present for me on Monday if Carrick is to walk or be sacked. Enough is enough, Bernie. He has to go, Steve Cuff. Steve, it's always going to happen. It's not going to go away. The only way to relieve the pressure is get a win tonight and get a win against Stoke on Tuesday and then just keep, chipping away. But as I say, 1-0 up, we'll think, hey, come on. We could ride this out and win the game, but they had chance after chance after chance, and as I say, Travers was terrific. If you think I'm overdoing it, watch some of his saves. As I say, we could have conceded 5, 6 or 7, but we had a couple of chances ourselves. But the goal Big Hinasho, I'll pronounce Hinasho, the new centre forward. He cuts in, cuts in from our right, cuts in on his left, hits it, keeper parries it up in the air. Thank you very much, Conway. Simple tap in. Their goal came in for the right to the back stick. Players unmarked, he controls it, he plays it square. The first guy, this is along the 6-yard box, we've got about 4 or 5 defenders there. First guy misses it, the second guy, thank you very much, bum. And then there was a free kick. And the free kick, the guy who was commentating, he summarised, and he was writing everything he says. When they have the free kick, it goes over the wall. Say we've got a 5-man wall, I didn't count them. We've got a wall. Ball goes over the wall, hits the crossbar, comes down. The 3 of their players anticipated that it's going to come off the bar or hit a post or whatever, and they go in there, and any one of them could have tapped it in. Keator's lying in a heap. Our wall became like the Berlin Wall. There was no movement, just made of stone. The only one that did actually turn to try and retrieve it was Hackney, to his credit. None of the others. So the wall's there, ball goes over the top, hits the bar. As I say, the Berlin Wall just stands like that, and 3 of their boys follow it in, and it's a simple tap in. Tony Smith says, the Strachan buy 3 new players. Crap is making them sound better than they are. Thought we played well. First half, didn't turn up against second half. Late subs again. Borough need to stop giving daft fouls away. Not good enough, Bernard. We can't even the simple things right. Get the simple things right. So John Swains is the bottom one. And it's Ave Maria there. Look, the first half we were alright. We scored the goal. The tails were up. We looked half decent with a couple of efforts. Big Bazog, as I say. Couple of shots, couple of saves. One he should have scored, or at least hit the target. But they had a lot of chances as well. But once they made the changes and got the first goal, that was it. There was only going to be one winner. We really were on the back foot. It should have been 7, if not for Travis. Yeah, well, you've seen the same game as me. Taxi from Mr. Carrick, says Andrew. Good evening, Bernie. Well, not a good one, but we're here, aren't we? What a diabolical second half that was. Andy Smith says, I'm sorry, Bernie, but how on earth Michael Carrick has been given backing by Steve Gibson? At 1-0 up, make your changes. I'm going to read it. It's a long one, but I'm going to backtrack. 1-0 up, make your changes. Make us more compact. But no, he will never learn. Tactically, totally inept, reactive, not proactive. Effing Tommy Tit, rhythmical. Management again. The lack of subs has just been baffling. He looks absolutely clueless in the touchline. I don't like people getting sacked, but we are in a results business, Bernie. And if it wasn't for the keeper, it would have been 7-1. Sorry, but he has to go. He's inept and has lost the plot. We're again losing to a team who aren't technically as good as us, but have outfought us and have got proper tactics. Gibson must sack him, or if he isn't sacked, if Carrick has any morals, he'll do a Strachan and walk. Oh, so that's what the last guy probably referred to. We have gone from a good, entertaining, goal-scoring team to a team who look like they're a bunch of strangers. I'm livid. I think we all are, Andrew. Yeah, I'm forever saying fanning about. We did it, didn't we? Travers saw the plaudits and rightly so, but he did give a dodgy ball first half. I think it was when it was 0-0, and we messed about, wrong errors, and the guy got it, passed it, shot. Travers made a great save, but that would have been another one with fanning about and another goal conceded. With season tickets in sale, Gibson must act or sales will suffer for next season. That's for David Jackson. Darren says, hi everyone. Hi Bernie, hi Darren. Wow. That has to be the worst I've seen, Bernie. Keith Williams. Oh no, well, second half was really bad, but the first half was not bad. I've seen worse than that, Keith. Dear God, we at the Watford game. Have you been at a lot of games? No, I've seen worse games than that. Ben Fielding says, Carrick has to go, surely. No game management or effort to change the game when it was drifting. You look at my 2 centre forwards, you've got Big Hinasho, if that's how you pronounce his name, you know what I'm talking about. The guy that's in loan. He's not played a lot of football, so he'll not be match fit. I'm not defending him, I'm just saying, we brought a lad in who scored, by all accounts, a couple of goals against Mickey Mouse teams in some Tottenham saying they cut over in, is it Spain? And then you've got Conway, who got a goal, wasn't greatly involved, link-up play wasn't great, never got really into it. He's not match fit. He's only played 2 games in about 6-7 weeks. So you've got 2 forwards there who aren't match fit, who aren't sharp. Now whose fault's that? Well, we've not got anybody else on the bench. And forget Foz. If you're going to Foz, you're really clutching at straws. Sonny says, I bet it's nice to have a manager who actually goes for it with the changes. And it paid off for them. Well, they had to, Sonny, because they were getting beat 1-0. Their home form is really good. I don't watch a lot of Bristol, so I can't sit here and kid you that I watch all their games and how good they are and they can turn it around. But I'm just going with their stats. And their stats are very good at home. Don't get beat a lot of games at home. And tonight, they pulled it out of the bag. Yet again, no subs until the end. Again, this is for Steve Horn. They make 4 or 5 changes. Will Carrick stood on the sidelines with his hand in his chin. Evening, sir. Not good enough. This is for Glenn Taylor. Again, get your boots out, Bernie Joseph Slade. I had my boots out earlier. I went a 7-mile, no, probably an 8-mile walk with one of my dog. The other one's a wee bit lazy. But I went there to relax a bit and get the tension away, and so I could sit and watch the game with it being uptight and biting the pillow and all that carry on. Mike Green says, can't believe he waited so long to make changes. It was plenty to see with Leggy, and what can Foz do for 2 minutes ago? I'll be honest, Foz 2 minutes, I get that, it's ridiculous, but I'm not a Foz fan if I'm honest. Thomas Cook says, Bernie, you are the chairman. What do you do, MC Michael Carrick? Stick a twist. For me, he should have gone on Monday. Gibson looks a bit silly now, because if he sacks him, he looks daft, but looks daft for sticking. And John Swill says, Carrick out, sorry, we stuffed again. Late subs. Travis, our best player. What happens to us? We're funny about. Well, we did, and we got away with it. Early doors we did. In other words, use their ability as a defender. Kieran says, changes needed to be made at the half time. We weren't second best all first half. We were second best all first half. We still were in the game, but no changes at all. The only reason there's that many come in, sorry for missing some. Selling Lucky Laugh, when we did shows, Gibson knows we have no chance of the playoffs. And hi, Bernie, who would you put in defence? That's a main problem. Even Bernie, Carrick needs to swallow his pride and get back to basics and make it hard to beat instead of sitting to total football. Dear God, if that's total football, I'll go off the football. Unfortunately, I can't see him doing it. Don't worry, Bernie. You're always our best striker. We appreciate you. You mean cheapest. That's for Stefan. And Darren says, I would stick until the end of the season and get rid of both Carrick and Scott. I'm going to answer the guys quickly. So Michael Carrick, what would I do if I was Steve Gibson? Well, Steve Gibson supported him, so I'm Steve Gibson, so I've given him a backing. I can't sack him tomorrow, can I? Well, I can, but you will look stupid and two-faced if you were to do that. I don't think Steve Gibson will do that. But I'll be honest, if we go to Stoke and get beat again, I think the gun may be fired. I do. Because tonight was measly disappointing to be 1-0 up and get beat 2-1 and to fizzle out in the last 25-30 minutes when they throw their subs on. To go to Stoke, who's an average team, I know people saying, well, we're average as well. I agree with that as well. I thought the two teams tonight were average. You know, if I'd fell out the sky and thought, right, what game is this? What division are these in? Any of them up the top? I wouldn't think any of them were up the top. I don't think anybody, any team tonight, set their stall out to and really made an impression. Has Carrick ever beaten a side managed by Matt Robbins? David Jackson, I don't know that answer. Can't believe he waited so long to make changes. Did they plan to see we were leggy? Oh, I mentioned that, sorry, Mike. So where do we go from here? So bad again, just so poor, we were always going to concede. It's what we do. Never did I think we would keep a clean sheet tonight, even when we went 1-0 up. It's coming all night. 5 defeats in a row, it is. What winning feels like may as well give Stoke the 3 points for Tuesday. Nah, I wouldn't go that far. Stoke did. As I say, if we go to Stoke and get beat, then I think Michael Carrick could leave his post. That's not me wishing it. I'm just saying that the reality in football, if you've won 3 and what was it going into tonight's game? Something like 3 and 15. It's 3 wins in 16. If you go to Stoke 3 and 17, that's a sackable offence. I think Michael Carrick's long in the tooth. He knows exactly that simply isn't good enough. Well, it's not good enough now. But because what was his key word? Somebody mentioned it in one of these emails. When Michael did the press conference during the week, perspective. That was a key word. Seemingly he mentioned it 8 times in a press conference. Somebody's given him that buzzword. But perspective, I get where he's coming from. Perspective is we're being poor and not doing the business and conceding goals and fanning about the back, but we're still a game in hand and just outside the playoffs. So that's things in perspective. But when you look again tonight, well, there's no real perspective. Yeah, we've still got a game in hand, but we go to Stoke and don't win and even get a draw. It's not good enough. And as somebody says, tomorrow, all the games that will be played, we could be away down the league again. Now there's a load of reasons. Michael Carrick, like most coaches in the country, will carry the can. It's his head that's on the block. Nobody else's. Loads of people have played a part. Loads of people are in the ingredient, bring players, recommend players, pay money for this and that. And Michael Carrick is responsible for what we see in match day. But if you were to ask Michael Carrick, and Michael Carrick was to be honest, I don't think any put that. What about Latty Lafcon? If it was me, I'd say, well, it's your biggest nightmare. You lose your best goal scorer. You know, I get the money side for your business, but I'm the coach. And I'm losing my best striker. But then in return, I would say, well, you've lost your best striker, but when he was fit, Michael, and scoring goals, you were dropping them. So, yeah. Somebody needs to ask some serious questions. It looks like to rebuild for next season. Stefan, we've been rebuilding we've only been once in the top flight in 15 years or something. I hear this. I hear the same rhetoric every week, every year. Oh, next year. No, we'll build next year. Yeah, we'll get it right. Oh, this is the season. Believe. Oh, this. It's not us that need to believe. It's the players. It's the guys at the top and the players have to believe. And if you get all your top players, you've got a better chance. But if we're going to sell, then we are going to be a bit deflated and not as good. And I think what we're getting at the minute is Latty Laf's gone, Dok's injured, and that knocks the stuffing out some players as well. The January window was always going to be crucial, and it was a statement of intent or not intent, what we did in the window. Well, we did get rid of Latty Laf. As a fan, gutted, but as a chairman, I would have did the same thing, but I'm a fan. If I'm a coach, I'm gutted. Fans should be gutted, because there's no good you saying great business because you're not getting anything in return for it. The team you support's weakened. If Carrick goes, I believe that Rob Edwards will be installed. Kieran Scott are great friends. Oh no, we don't want any jobs for the boys. I'm not into all that crap. I know it goes on, but I'm not a fan of that. Where do we go from here? Bad again, just so poor. We were always going to concede. It's what we do. Never did I think we keep a clean sheet. Yeah. If I was Michael, I'd walk on his own free will, and he has to go, and Woody should never have been given a second chance. That's for Dan Shaw. Carrick has to go. Enzo, no messing. Paul John says, Bernie, 1 up, 60 minutes. We were crying out for subs. It was obvious, and he brings Foz on for 3 minutes to go. The bloke's clueless. Well, listen, I know we're angry. Give Chris Andrews a bit. Look, I know we're angry, and having a go at Carrick, whatever, he's not got a clue. This guy, Carrick, his first season, produced the best football I've seen in Middlesbrough for 35 years. Excuse me. the right players come in, whoever brought them in, whether it was the director of football or the guy signing at the top, they were good players. We went through them all, we don't need to go through them all. But the first season was best football ever. But I was always concerned with Michael Carrick, like a lot of clubs, that he'd become a tinker man. And he has become a tinker man. The first season, very seldom changed. He went right through the season, got into the playoffs, never changed it, and then he did, just before the playoffs, and it had an effect. Last season, again, hitty-missy, turbulent. This season, turbulent, hitty-missy. Teams do it, I know teams do it, but I don't get it. I don't get it. If somebody's doing well, Big Berzog, when he missed the chance tonight, I thought, I'll tell you what, big man, if you'd have played against Watford, you'd probably scored that one tonight. He scored 3 in the bounce, and then because we changed the formation, we dropped Berzog. We have to move on next game. Now Carrick's words, not mine. Anne-Marie. So we have to move on to the next game. Carrick's words, not mine. Listen, when you're interviewing Carrick or any coach, what do you want me to say? So, Michael, do you believe? Well, of course I believe. Yeah. What do you want me to say? No, I don't really believe I'm going to get another one. I can't really see he's getting any more clean sheets. We've got 13 games left. No. What do you want me to say? That's why I don't listen to press conferences and modern day players and local. I don't listen to any of that. Because it's all protective and spin and propaganda, and it's just rubbish. It's like you buy a programme, Match Day, up and down the country. It's like reading the Beano. There's no criticism. It's just like a fun magazine. Everything's great in the garden, everything's hunky-dory. No, it's no reality. I mean, the fanzines were the one for carrying the reality, but I don't even think they do these days. What was Carrick's first season? Wilder's team, which has got worse as Carrick's influence is taking hold. That's with David. It hurts when with Lewis Stefan, yeah. Chris Andrews in, Carrick out. And the next, Bernie, David Dickinson. Where was I? So when you replace one of your best strikers in the league with that spud up front, might as well have just Ed back, Carrick out, Adam McCabe. I get where you're coming from. I mean, the big lad up front hasn't played a lot of games. He's played a couple of cup games in poor competition against weak opposition, scored a couple. That's it. And we've been attracted to him to replace a £20 million player. We knew that we were going to get rid of Little Laugh. It was just a matter of time. When? Summer? No. This January? No. If not, end of the season. So it was always coming. So to end up with a guy that we don't know a great deal about, who's not really played a lot of games or scored a lot of goals, to replace a Latty Laugh is in totally different contrast. No one said it's like Nigel Clough. Sorry, Brian. He meant Brian. Constantly selling your best players is a recipe for failure. Of course it is, Stephen. There's a host of things. You know, Michael Carrick remains under pressure. He needs to start winning games. I was hoping tonight he could do that and relieve a bit. Only relieves a bit of pressure. The pressure's still there. He needs consistency. I.e. the team need to be consistent. His team selection has to be consistent. He needs a settled team. And he needs to try and get rid of this fanning about the back. I seen it again tonight. It was highlighted a few times tonight. But again, you get away with it and then people forget about it. As the defence is a joke, Carrick doesn't seem to know how to sort it out. Players need to look around before the mistakes happen to gain strength from it. Constantly selling it, yes, I've mentioned that. Bullied Bernie, no character in that team. Should have been 5, Lee Fawcett. Well, Lee, we've mentioned Travers, the goalkeeper. He had a very, very good game. Tonight, somebody says were wonderful. But for his heroics, we'd have lost a few more. And Asher should have been subbed a long time before he was. It wasn't for Travers. It would have been at least 4 or 5 for Bristol. Who's this? Kevin. Kevin says, this reminds me Reyes last season when the rot had set in and we were losing game after game and plummeting to the old 3rd division. The change was made at the right time. Gibson to go as well. Wow. Pay West Brom and get Mugger home. Oh, come on, Mary. Is it Mary? Harry. Sorry, Harry. Carrick has to walk Burnley. Kevin Stott. Freddie Phillips says they didn't look like they cared, no passion. Freddie Phillips, I'll be honest, no, I seen Fry throwing his body in the line second half. Guy would get square ball, he went to have a shot and Fry just went whole body and blocked it brilliantly. I seen Van der Berg doing that. So I couldn't agree no one cared and no passion. I did, and I seen Hackney pulling and scrapping and getting the ball quickly to try and get that goal back. So fanny about at the back, we need to stop blaming each other, play for the Borough badge. Whittaker crap again, must do better as Carrick lost the team, Bernie. Do better as Carrick has lost the team, Bernie. So that's for John Swains and Ali Hunter. Do you think some of the players have lost confidence in him, or is similar signs to what Karanka was like before he was given the boot? And Stephen Horn said, if you play for tuppence halfpenny, and someone comes in with multi-million offer, it's all about money. There's no passion anymore. Well, there's passion, but it's loyalty. There's no loyalty. Yeah, players move for a reason, for ambition and money. And Latty Laugh, by all accounts, has really quadrupled his money in America. And Middlesbrough's quadrupled their money for the fee. So Latty Laugh's happy, the hierarchy's happy, but the people in between that deal with it are the ones that carry all the blame. Close off the pitch and on the pitch. Need somebody with experience to sort the squad out and tactics. That's for Henry 1206. They didn't look. No, I've read that. Warren Carter says, way things are going, we'll be looking at the relegation battle, never mind the promotion battle. Well, Warren, the more we're in a hole and we can't seem to get out the hole, and we're changing team. Well, we've changed the team throughout the season. And you're talking about respect. If I was a modern day player with my mentality, it wouldn't matter what era I was playing, I've got the same mentality. If I was scoring goals like a Latty Laugh at the time, and Michael Carrick was saying, "No, you're dropped," new word, rested, bullshit, it's dropped, I would be knocking his door down. I wouldn't respect. I would think, if you drop me when I'm scoring 2 goals and I'm in form and in sync, then I don't respect you. You know, many times Mo Salah get dropped by Liverpool. I don't think he gets dropped, does he? You keep your best players in if they're on fire. As I say, I felt sorry for Bazog. Yeah, it was tactical. I get that, but why change it tactically? Big Bazog was having a good time. 3 goals in 3 games. Can't see things changing, Bernie. This is from, is it Closey? Can't see things changing, Bernie. I like Carrick, but something's not right. Maybe the backroom staff. No fight again. No subs. The National can't hold the ball and fanning about again. Yeah. I mean, everybody sees the fanning about. You reflect and look back at the last game against Watford. The fans showed the disgruntlement and where we're at with this messing about the back. The fans don't want it. We've seen it. It's boring. Boring. That's what it is. Yeah, there's now and again, I get the idea, they come in the opposition, you play around, I get that. But we're not very good at it. Where was the effing subs? Too late again, Michael Alcock, he's lost it, man. Paul Ronald said, evening, Bernie Jocelyn. Hiya, Paul. I won't say good. I watched the game and we still look dodgy in defence. I can't understand why he still makes subs so late when players are tired. Think he has to go now. Sorry, but enough is enough now. I think Stoke will beat us next week too. As I say, I honestly, if we were to get beat, it's Stoke, because Stoke's in the bottom of the league. They're huffing and puffing and struggling. I don't think there's any way back. The stats are the thing that will go. And look, when the stats are poor and the fans are booing your brand of football after cheering it 2 years ago when we were brilliant, then something has to give. Something has to give. How are we getting a manager and not a coach? A manager will surely have his say at who stays and who goes. Stephen Horn. It's a great thing. I've never been a fan of the modern game's fully, but I've never been a fan of the coach. But Michael Carrick has bought into it. He bought into it. first job, long term, yeah, you do this and you work with him and he'll do that and this is how we operate. And he's bought into it, so I'm sure he knows the reality of it now and how hard it is and how he carries the can for everybody chipping in with players and whatever. I couldn't go to bed at night thinking he's giving me a couple of duds and he's hiding under the bed and I'm getting all the flack. Surely he must think like that. But then there's a lot on Michael Carrick's own shoulders with what we're seeing at the minute. Dropping players that's playing well, playing players that's not playing well. The amount of injuries is everybody should be criticised for that. Because it's all like training, it's not on games. Hi Bernie. What's that? It's spreading right through the fans at the moment. We can do is show our support and no. Paul McLean, keep the faith. No, listen, we don't have to keep the faith. The players need to keep the faith. The coaching staff, the guys at the top, then the fans. I've heard this saying. I remember we'd believe and keep the faith over the years. Going to play Norwich at Wembley. I was there. Travelled down with a few of the lads. Keep the faith, believe and all that. No, they have to, not us, them. We can have all the belief and all the faith. The players have to do it. And at the minute, there's a few of them. As I say, I'm not being overcritical. Some of the players really put in a shift tonight and tried their damnedest. I say, throwing bodies in the line, blocking things, tried their damnedest, but defensively poor. But poor again, and that's been the theme throughout the season. It's not something new, it's something that just keeps going on. If you were to say, has the defence improved in Michael Carrick's tenure? Of course it's not, as well like that. Nosedived. Has the performances on the eye, are you enjoying the way when he first came into now? No, it's nosedived. So we've got the defending's got worse, the football's got worse because we keep fanning about. We're not as direct. We still like a bit of pace, real zip. Bernie, why do you think the club remains in this long-term doldrums? We never seem to have any ambition to be promoted again. Stephen Bell. I don't know the answer, Stephen, but I think there's a lot of clubs lack ambition getting into the top flight. I think the fear is they go up and they get whooped and they have to upgrade everything. They get a boatload of money, but they have to buy players and be seen to be buying players to compete. But you look at Ipswich and Co, they've all went up and they're all coming down. Very difficult. But maybe the hierarchy is like you, a lot of you as fans, you don't want promotion. Or a lot of my mates travel the country, don't want Borough promoted. Hackney's not a good captain. Colin Hart, he shouldn't be captain. I think that's another problem. You give Hackney, who's not even played, has he played 100 games yet? Might be wrong in that one, but he's not played 300, 400, 500 games. Not a lot of modern players do that at one club, of course. But Hackney, I still think he's finding his own game. He's had an indifferent season. He scored like 4 great goals. I thought he was half decent tonight. I thought he put a shift in. He tried. He was grabbing the ball and he was up for it. But 82 minutes to make a change. What the hell was he playing at Michael Briggs? Vinny Woodrow, hi Vinny. Really don't know what to say. It's the same old story that's just on repeat with every manager we get. Hope, excitement, then just absolutely rock bottom. It's been on repeat since 2009. I don't even know who to blame. In fact, I don't want to blame anyone. It's just so frustrating that this cycle never ends. As I say, we had a spell where we were going to bring in younger players and sign them and polish them and sell them. We did that with Rodgers 6 months in, see you later. Sold them we made massive profit. Lucky Laugh, 1.5 years of doing the business, see you later. Akpom, 1.5 years doing the... That's great business from the football club. And that secures it well. Hopefully the finances are always going to be alright. But I always look at it as foundations made of sand. You know, if we're bringing in players 4-year contracts and sell them after 6 months, there's not much of a build going on. And then we're bringing these loans in. Well, you get your dollar on the lad junior and the lads, the national up front, they'll be gone this summer. I don't even think it's open to debate. So there's no real founds to say this team is going to get better next year. I laugh at managers that say, yeah, next year, it's like Brendan Rodgers. I watched Celtic, I went to see the Bayern game in Glasgow, I thought Celtic would get battered. I watched them on the European night over there and Celtic were great. I couldn't believe how good they were. Should have possibly win it. And Brendan Rodgers says, yeah, that's good experience for over the years coming. Well, no, it's not, because you might not be there, and the players that playing for Celtic probably won't be there. So it's a lot of bull. If it was old, like back in the Mannion and Hardwick and Cloughie and Camsell and all those guys, when you stayed for 12, I know Cloughie never even 5-6 years, but a lot of these guys stayed for 12 years. That's how you build. But when you're talking about, oh, that's great experience for the years over Europe, no, it's not, because none of the players will be there. And Rodgers won't be there. So don't buy into all this stuff about building for the future. There's no future. It's a modern football. They move every now and again. Higgy would be a good addition to the coaching staff. I was getting worried. I thought you were going to say playing there. Ali Hunter says, since Carrick dropped Akpom in his first season, looking back over his time, we've progressively got worse, in my opinion. Maybe Carrick is not the problem, but what do we know? Ali, I think there's a host of people. The team that you pay money to watch is assembled by a host of people, not just Michael Carrick. There's a load of them, all play a part. But Carrick, unfortunately, carries the can. And he's bought into it. So that's Tony Mowbray had the same problem at Sunderland. You know, he ended up arguing with the director of football because he's getting duds and selling players under his nose and pleases the top boys but doesn't please the coach. It happens. But they've all bought into it. So, time for Carrick to go by the Andrew Hill, no messing about. Ben Fielding says, Carrick didn't try to change the shape, he just changed players tactically in it. Kenneth Kennedy says, he needs to use substitutes more. It was way too late changing tactics and formations. But as I say, I hear people saying, we've got a great squad. Hand in heart, I don't think we've got a great squad. The word great never enters my mind when I look at our squad. As I say, we've only got one real right winger, and that's Dalton. He's not our property. We've not got an actual left winger. The number 10 is only Azaz, and anybody else that's played in there doesn't get a run at it. Defensively, we keep chipping goals in. We're on my fourth goalkeeper. Up front, we've got two guys that's not even match fit, trying to get us into the top 6. How is that a great squad? A great team? Yeah, we've got injuries, yeah, but where's the injuries come from? What are we doing at training? This happened last year, I think the year before. There's always been an issue. Shot and performance, defender was absolutely horrendous. Competence looks completely short. As for Andy Thompson, Mandy Liddell says, what a load of quack. Thanks, Mandy. Sonny says, how has Fry not been playing? I don't know the answer to that. You know, Fry was just left out in the cold, no apparent reason. Big Edmondson had signed 650 grand. And Fry was just nudged onto the bench back in the night. He worked hard, Fry, did his best. No passion, it didn't look like they gave it a crap. Freddie Phillips. But Freddie, as I say, I seen a few that did give a crap and did try their best. We didn't see it, but thought Whittaker struggled, looked upset when coming, thought why is he signing for Borough? That's for John. Wasn't in it. The boy wasn't in it. Is there any news in Doc's return? They really struggle without him. Nobody mentions Doc. I mean, I don't listen to radio or look local rags, but I'm on social network and I've not seen anything regarding Doc, when he's fit, when's he back. Under the cosh, and he waits until 82 minutes to make the change. Unbelievable, Phil Hutton. Colin Hart says subs should have started a lot sooner. Tired legs. I think it was evident that the two up front were struggling as well. As I say, Conway's played about 2 games in about 6-7 weeks. The big guys hardly played a game over where he plays. So they're fatigued and they're genuinely feeling it. But no, we don't change. Doc is going to be back in a couple of weeks. Well, Dan, I've heard all that. Manana, next week, no, the week after, and then, no, he's broke down, and I've heard all this nonsense. Should have started a lot sooner, yeah. Bernie is training the players, only part-time work. Is there enough hard work being done? Well, Stefan, when I see clips on my social media, I see Michael Carrick saying, yeah, we've been on the training ground and we've did it and we know what we're doing. But when it comes match day, when it matters, See, there's players can do things, I've mentioned it before, there's players can do things in the training ground, but when it comes to the real deal, when the fans are there and the press are there and the spotlight's there, they collapse, they can't do it. Doing it at training is one thing, but taking it into match day, the real deal, some people can't do it. Season gone, focusing next. This is for Matt Watts. If Gibson wants to keep Carrick, then he needs to come out and say it to the fans, that this is a score. Well, I think he doesn't need to come out publicly and say it. I don't even know where it came from. Was it just an official statement saying that Carrick's staying? Or was it Steve Gibson quotes? I don't even know. I think it just came from the club, didn't it? Maybe if I'm wrong, tell me. Who brought these players who are clearly not ready for first team football in any league? Brian Kent. But we know how it works. If you don't know how it works, in Europe, director of football was introduced years ago in Europe, and the majority of directors of football were former players who knew the gig, knew the coach, give them try the best. But what we have here, and up and down the country, you've got the coach, you've got the director of football, and then you've got the chief executive chairman. So you've got four of them, and loads of other lads running about scouting or whatever. But they four guys are the major guys who take control when it comes to finance. But the guy in the middle, the director of football, I'm talking up and down the country, I'm not just pointing at Middlesbrough. The director of football, when he's looking at players, can have the best eye for talent and the best talent spotter, but when he goes to the two top guys, they will then quiz, well, what's the value, much are they wanting? And Carrick might be thinking, well, that's exciting. Then this guy becomes a pig in the middle. He has to go to Carrick, save Carrick because we're a Middlesbrough fan, and say, listen, heard the word with the top guys, can I get him? We'll need to go for him. He's less money. He's available. So so there's four that you know about, we know about, and most people know about. Then they're surrounded by a host of other people getting involved. But one guy carries the can, the coach. You know, if you were giving me duds, I could not hold my opinion. If I was in front of the media and they say, well, what about that? I'd say, well, what's our best striker? So-and-so's injured at training. Don't you know what's the stuff is? I'd be having a moan and a groan and I'd be saying it publicly. You know, well, why did you sign him? Well, I never signed him. But you'll not get people saying that because I've been the contract to stay stumped. Don't say anything. You've took the role, you've accepted it, you know the gig privately, but you're not going to put it out there in the public arena. Look at Conte. He signed a man, didn't he, for us? Eventually, and he went, I never signed him. I never signed him. And that got him in trouble. Scott Parker, he mentioned something, didn't he? He had to go to the guys at the top, saying that more or less they weren't helping him or selling his best players. Gone. Mugger, the same. Had to go to director of football, say on this one, the player of the year, see you later. So, the fan has to be more, you can't be tunnel vision. You have to look at the big picture. Yeah, Carrick, loads going on, Carrick, but if you give me 11, I'm not saying these, but if you give me 11 duds, and 11 duds get on your beat week in, week out, then it's not just out of tactics, it's just because they're bad players. So I've not brought them in, so why are you going to hang me? As I say, modern coaches buy in here. Redknapp, Allardyce, Fergie, Cloughy, those guys wouldn't tolerate. Wilder, Warnock, they don't tolerate. That's why the short term at Middlesbrough, the last two. How can they play hundreds, thousands of games and manage thousands of games, manage in every division, and then have some rookie telling them who they're bringing in, who they're letting go? Just on my way home from the match tonight, this is for Michael Duffy. This championship is so cruel, so annoying for us Borough fans. These players and Carrick need to show the passion the fans are still showing the team. I agree with that as well, Michael Duffy. I'm sure they get with the intentions, but you know, when the fans are on your case and the results are against you, and you just cannot, we couldn't buy a win at the minute. I don't believe even with millions of pounds to buy a game. I don't think we'd win it. Season gone, focus on next season. I've read that. Matt Scott says, everyone's saying we needed fresh leg, but look at our bench. Who would you have brought on, Bernie? Let's look at the bench. Glover, no, because he's a keeper. Belazer, no, really. Ayling, can he run? Azaz has been off form. Foz, don't rate him. Edmondson, stiff. Junior, Novice, Greenup, Naverdium and McCabe. It's a fair point, Mark. All you people, it's a fair point, that. I'm just, I know the bench, but I'm just digesting it now, thinking, who would really turn the game out of all them? Fair point, Matt, I'll give you that. Mate, he's thinking outside the box. Can I speak for the majority of us Borough fans? I haven't been this deflated being a Borough fan in a long while. So that's for Nathan. Is it fair? So he's thinking he can talk for the majority of Borough fans. He hasn't been this deflated being a Borough fan for a long time. Well, the expectations were up to start the season. This was going to be the season. We're going to do it. We're going to at least top 6. Some people are talking top 2. And now we're thinking, we're going to be halfway down the table here. I thought top 6. I knew January was coming, and I did go on record on here and the Red Radio and whatever. I says, we go January, we come through unscathed, Light Laugh doesn't go, and Dope doesn't go back to Liverpool. We'll be in the top 6. So much so I thought, I'm going to book my holidays late on in May. But now, I don't believe, well, even before tonight, even if we won tonight, I don't believe we're going to make it. Not good enough. Let too many goals in. Let too many goals in. Continue taking risks and suicide football at the back. Can I get a run of games going? Let's say 3 and 16, and we've got 13 left. So we've got 3 and 16. Do you think we're honestly going to win out the remaining 13 games? We're going to win 9, 10? The way it's panned out this season? Well, if you do, you should be locked up in a padded cell. Under 18s play better for the Borough badge, Bernie, and for free, mate. That's for John Swains. Frank Horsley says Steve needs to let him go and see his wife and kids permanently. Hopeless or hapless. Gareth Watkinson says the reason he showed his wife and kids, I've seen a wee clip that Mel Carrick was saying he only sees his kids and wife one day a week, and if he didn't love it, what he was doing, he would, yeah. Gareth Watkinson says we could all see what was coming and they still didn't bring any subs on until it was too late. But Gareth, it's a fair point. One guy, he thought outside the box and said, well, what about the bench? Who would you have brought on to turn it? Who could turn it? Who's capable of turning it? He brought on Azaz late as well, but Azaz possibly. Borough could be 15th at the end of the weekend. Let that sink in. Carrick's apathy has transferred to many fans. Could see we were going to chuck it away tonight due to Carrick's lack of tactics. That's for Andy Simpson. You think Carrick out yet, Bernie? Ryan. As I say, Ryan, I'm here to give my opinion. If you might, I'll be honest. Okay then, here we go. So if Michael Carrick was to walk tomorrow, do I think that would make our ambitions and drive and belief that we can get top 6? I don't think we're good enough. I don't care who we bring in. I just simply think we ain't good enough. Whether it's Michael Carrick, whether it's Joe Bloggs, I don't think we're good enough to finish in the top 6. Hey, I might be wrong. I might win 13 out of 13. My nose is getting bigger, Pinocchio. No, I can't see it. As I say, the January win, leading into January, where confidence was dented, we were inconsistent, we're letting goals in. I think it's 8 times we let 3 goals in games. So 8 games we've let 3 goals in. That's a lot of goals. Then when it comes January, and the longer that it took Light Laugh to depart, the more frustrating it is for the players. I'm not making excuses. If I was that dressing room thinking, is he going or what? Oh, let's hope he stays. Oh, you got a glimmer of hope. No, I think the wee man's staying. That's what we need. We need him. He's been top drawer this season, which he hasn't scored, top scorer. And then it goes right to the wire and then he heads off. There's another knife. So, and then Dope getting injured was the big blow for confidence and morale. Then we bring in a couple of guys like Junior and Hinacho up front who we don't know. We can read up and see what their background is and what they're about, but did they really excite you? Didn't excite me. Bring back Giles was the biggest farce in the history of defending. We've got one of the worst defences in the league. We bring back Giles. I keep going on about it. Why would you bring back somebody who can't defend and he's played a couple of games and he scored one and played a hand in one against? I don't mean be overcritical judge. Going forward in a good footballing team, like the first time round, he was magnificent. He was brilliant. But he's been away a year and a half. Different player, different makeup. Not did it with poor teams that are odds on to get relegated. And we bring them back. Lazy recruitment for me. Lazy recruitment. I thought Borges done all right tonight as well. 10 minutes. Monday, 9 o'clock. I just don't think the team are good enough. So what's this? Kipper who? Kipper Tranter. Monday, 9 o'clock. I just don't think the team are good enough and the manager hasn't got a clue. How to change the formation, to outwit the opposing team's changes. Ali Hunter says, interesting that Giles was left out of the squad this evening. Well, there you go. Okay then. Carrick picks a team. I've never said he doesn't pick the team. Doesn't bring other players in and let players go. But is that not a wee indication that he didn't bring him in? That's I said about Giles to Bernie, he's not good enough. Well, if you're talking about the first year, I mentioned it, he took draw going forward in a great, well, it was a great team. I don't know how we never got promotion that year. We get beat, didn't we? It was Coventry. The big centre forward ran him up. He's now at Sporting Lisbon. But that was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. He's a different animal now. He's left a very good Borough team to come back to an average Borough team for me. A team that's inconsistent. A team that can't defend. A team that's lopsided because Doc's the only natural right winger we've got that really puts pressure on opponents. So different animal, different team, different environment, different period. Inasho looks like he's towing a caravan. I like the humour. You know, I've seen that. We used to say, look at him, man. He's got a three-piece suite down his shorts. Certain players, I get that. Carrick's no plan B. Colin, when I hear people saying that, you tell to say what you want, that Carrick's not got a plan B, and I look at Postecoglou, they have got plan Bs, they don't want to use them. They want to stick to the one-trick ponies, they want to stick to this. Of course they'll have plan Bs. Of course they can change it. But they don't want to. They don't want to. They're pig-headed. As I say, I admire that pig-headedness. Because you live and die with your own, you're better to lose your job doing it your way than somebody else's way. If you bow to everybody that wants you to change it and you do it there, well, you're going to get sacked anyway if it doesn't go right. So you might as well stick to your morals and principles and what you believe in, your gut. But even me, and I love football, I'm bored with some of the football. This messing about the park. Every team I watch, it's boring. I used to moan at Wimbledon, get it in the mixer, they would get it wide and they'd put it into big fast new, 6'5", sheer muscle, bang, blood, elbows, and I used to think, it's like rugby that. But I would rather have that than this fannying about the back, prancing about the back, tippy-tappy rubbish, going nowhere, keep retention of the ball, What pity see a bit of action? And we don't get it. Mohammed, hi Mohammed, Bernard Joseph Slevin, okay, I'm guess not. That's surely end of Carrick. How did we lose that tonight? Aita Karanka on T-side, so watch out. Oh, come on, Mohammed. Aita Karanka was a bore as well. Carrick played the best football I've seen was Michael Carrick. You can throw all the managers in the last 25 years. Michael Carrick, and don't forget, I never missed a game. In the late great Ali, I was travelling Europe, every Premier League game, First Division game, I've seen them all, and I continue to see them all. Aita Karanka was a bore. Yeah, he got his missed out, and then he got us to Wembley. We get beat Norwich. Then he got his promotion, brilliant. But we only won 4 games in the top flight. I'm sure he would have wanted to get in the top flight and maybe make it 3 wins in the top flight. And he went 7.5 games without a goal in the top flight. So I want excitement. Michael Carrick brought that to me as a Borough fan 2.5 years ago. Unfortunately, it's evaporated, been done the River Tees and we ain't the same team now. Obviously, it's chopped and changed since then a lot. I try to be realistic for Andy Simpson. How many of the current Borough squad would get in any of the top 6 of the league? Hackney, Fry, Morris, the only contenders. What do you think, Bernie? Great shows always. Thanks, Andy. And Diane says, Slav, it's Jagger. So Diane, Slav, it's Jagger. I follow Borough all over, gutted what's going on. Look at our squad, no defence, weak in the midfield and nothing up top. Still be there in 10 years up the Borough. It's making a goalkeeper nervous, Stephen. Yeah, so what Jagger's saying, we're having a moan and a groan. And that's what fans do. You do it as a parent, or your kids, or you shout at the dog, or you whatever. We have a moan and groan about the Borough, but I'm sure we'll all be supporting them. These players will probably go and you'll not remember half of them. There's players that get mentioned to, oh, what about Wildshot? I say, who? Wildshot? I have to think about it. Oh, but yeah, the winger meant to be like a coyote running up and down that wing, gazelle. He couldn't play. Gone, puff of smoke. The amount of players that's come to Middlesbrough, and Piero, I keep thinking Piero, £5 million. What a waste of money. Who's that? It's making a goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper, yeah, last 2 games ago they hit the punch weak, but tonight he was terrific. Deserves the plaudits. Is it carried out yet, Bernie? Oh, look, I've mentioned it. If Michael Carrick was to go tomorrow, whoever comes in won't change a fortune getting into that top 6. I don't believe that, because I don't think the team's good enough. We can't defend. Up front, we're a joke. We've got one guy, Conway, who scored, 11 goals? 12 a night, was that 12 a night? Well, he's half decent and he's been injured for a few weeks. So he's got a few, but the big man that's come in, neither here nor there. Azaz is way off form. That's it. What other strikers we got? You can hang your hat on. Frank Horsley says a caravan full of Tommy Tit, rhythmical. Ashley Williams says Carrick needs putting out of his misery. A blind man and a galloping horse could see we needed substitutions. He waited until he was too late. Can Gibble afford to sack him after a 3-year contract and so on? Well, that's right, Ashley. Michael Carrick signed, I don't know if it was 3 or 4, but he signed a new contract in the summer. Few clubs were reportedly sniffing about, and we've nailed them down. So it still suits both parties. But obviously, you're ready, Michael Carrick. He'd give us some motive to come up with some agreement. Dick Steele's worth performance in a Borough shirt too. But Matt, how would you feel if you're Dick Steele and you've been overlooked with Ailing, who's he's about 35, I think he is, who can't he run? How would you feel? I know he's been injured the last couple of games, but throughout the season he's been second choice. But I tell you what, he's quicker, he's direct, he puts a shift in, but he did have a bad game tonight. I agree with you. Dave Water says, we were lucky to be 1-0 up, don't deserve playoff place, simply not good enough. We've got to stop saying every season, this is our season, we're a championship football team, simple as that. Do you know what, Dave? Probably right. It's all this, look, that's part of being a football fan. You get into every season, new ambitions, new dreams, new hopes, new fantasies, and then the reality strikes and you think, oh, just a load of codswallop. And get it every year. Get it every year. Sammy Silvera doing okay, could have brought him back another attacking forward. That Inaccio's rubbish, Bernie. Where are we? A couple of minutes. Inacio has bigger shots than Mido. No, talking about 3-piece suites, Big Mido did have a 3-piece suite doing his shots, didn't he? Matthew Smith, at the back. Travers was the best player on the pitch tonight. Well, nobody can dispute that, Matthew. He was great. He can't be held responsible for the results. Yes, since he played 4 games, 4 losses, but the other 10 players are to blame, not him. He's going best he can. He is, the boy deserves the praise. He's come into a poor defensive unit and he's had to work at it, and tonight it was terrific. Nash's embarrassing signing by the club. He was awful. Mr. Scott has got this signing all wrong. Mohammed. Matt Scott says, January signings, woeful. I don't need more time to judge them. We've wasted $5 million on Whittaker. Well, again, I don't write players off after a few games. You know, you have to go, Whittaker, he's signed a long time, might be. Hey, we did it with Akpom. Me included. First season, I thought, poor. Like laugh. Oh, he's not going to do it. Then we end up cashing in 12 and 20 million. So, you need to give guys time. And don't forget they're joining a an average football team. As soon as equalised, you just knew we'd get beat. No passion or desire. Carrick surely has to go now. That's for James Rose. Well, James, I'll be honest, when we took the lead, I thought, wow, took the lead, brilliant. And the goal, big initial cut in, rocketed it, keeper parried it onto the head. Thank you very much for Conway. And I thought, hey, they don't look much of a team, despite having a great home record and all that. And our away form is quite good. And then we went to pieces when they started chopping and changing things. And changing the dynamics of the side, they put us under severe pressure. And when they get the goal back, it did look as if there was only going to be one winner. Bernie, Nasho to blame for both their goals. He caused for. That's a fair point. Fair point. For me, he shouldn't be there. I was like that. My mate should say, no, don't come back here, just stay up front. But why are we having centre forwards back there? Keep them up the middle. Karanka, behave, mate. Let yourself down with the end bit. Was going well. Karanka, behave. Are you talking to me or the lad who mentioned them? Hey, Karanka, not for me. Doesn't entertain. Blows the pants off. Well, off me anyway. I didn't enjoy that football. Karanka, Pulis, Warnock. Not a big fan of their styles of football. Paul Nicholas says, in game management, non-existent. Clear to see we were knackered after 60 minutes. Wait till 2-1 down to make changes. That's Paul Nicholas. And Mandy Blake says, January recruitment and losing Dope has killed us. I keep saying, some local rag reporter put that it was a statement of intent. January. Idiocy, you're conning the public, you're conning yourself, you're kidding yourself. You're trying to stay in a job, you're trying to make sure you don't get banned or whatever. Rubbish. Statement of intent, selling your best player. We let 5 go, brought 6 in. But it's who you bring in, the quality, the calibre. Have you seen any proof that we mean business? Has Carrick lost the players now because he's lost most of the fan base? Well, Dave, I couldn't answer that question. The players still look as if they're... Well, saying that, you never know. You don't know. We can all guess and surmise and pull excuses at the sky, but we'll never know. We're not in that dressing rooms. We don't know. I don't go training. I don't watch them training. I don't know any of the lads. I don't know. This is only one decent striker at the club now. Conway, that's it. Yeah, Conway's the only one that we've got. How sad is that? So we're aiming for top 6 finish. That was our goal and aim at the start of the season. And we brought a guy who's not played any games and scored any goals against big teams. And he's up front, who's not match fit. You guys did well. I'm a City supporter, and I knew Tommy would score. He's class, been at the City since 7. He's an amazing striker. You're lucky to have him. But best side won. Sean, yeah. Yeah, regarding Conway, look, Latty laugh at Conway, I'd have Latty laugh, without a doubt. But Conway, I think, puts a shift in. He tries. I mean, the goal he couldn't miss, dear God. Keita parried it right on his head. It was an empty goal. But he has got 12 goals to his credit. I think he got 12 2 seasons now at Bristol. I don't think 12 is a great return, but it's good return. But I don't think it's great. You want your strikers to score at least 20. Especially a team that's been up the top 6 for the majority. No passion, Bernie. It's embarrassing, Freddie. No, close, says Bernie. I know you hate fanning about the back, but Travers with the ball at his feet, his awful cost us goal. No, he did. There was one he gave it right on the left side. It was a poor ball from the keeper. Doesn't look comfortable with the ball at his feet. That's his weak point. Well, that's more reason why he shouldn't fanny about. How about Carrick saying, listen, when you get it, you know the best that you're a good keeper, son, and your reflexes and your blocks are amazing, your agility, but don't fanny about, just clear it. That's what you do to somebody that's not very good. I agree with that. That is now 27 points lost from winning positions this season. Michael Sutter. James Rose says it's tough being a Borough fan. Steve Brown says, Bernie, is this turning around your opinion? I can't see it. Players aren't playing for him. I can't see what is going to change with Carrick still in the post. Do you fancy us against any of the current bottom 3? think we are a potential relegation fight the longer this goes on. Look, hey, it's like a striker. I could score hat-trick, 2 the next, 1 the next, 1 the next. Then you hit a barren spell, a dry spot, and you don't score for 6, 7 games. Then you become the rut, and then your confidence is dented, and then your morale's down. And that's what's happening to the team. You know, when the pressure's on Carrick, well, every player knows that, doesn't it? They all know Carrick's under pressure. Oh, he's playing me tonight. The pressure's on me even more now because the pressure's on Carrick. And all that. And I think some modern players don't have the balls or gumption and up for the fight to roll their sleeves up and say, come on, we've got to do it, like, clap a few people. See any real challenges tonight? Don't see it. You see, I wasn't a title, I was a forward, I was there to score. But my mates, some of my mates would run through a brick wall for the Borough. They really would. Stoke next, that's another tough one again. What is? Because they know you're on a poor run of form. They know Carrick's under pressure. If you're their boss, you'll be saying, listen, they come here, Carrick's under pressure, get the first goal, they'll collapse. Fans will be on their case, players will disappear. So, right, I've overshot the runway. We beat by Stoke, yeah. So listen, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry if I didn't read the rest of it, and there's loads and loads. Keep going all night. Friday night, don't forget. Remember Friday, I never read any of it. Friday night, I used to go to nightclubs on a Friday night. Now I'm doing this. Really don't know what to say. Same old story. Yeah. So listen, thank you very much for joining us. Good night. Still see up the Borough. We're still Borough fans. We've all got an opinion on tonight in every game. But the pressure mounts for everybody. The coaches, the players. Everybody's rattled as to how bad we've been in recent weeks. Not been good. Not been good. Cheers, Ben. Have a good weekend. Cheers, Stephen. Thank you very much. Up the Borough. Cheers.